Good day, everyone. I am Giselle Kef Ponce, and for today's topic, which is Eros and Psyche, the love story of Eros and Psyche. But first, let me introduce to you the learning objectives. At the end of the discussion, students expected to know the story behind Eros and Psyche's love story, to identify the characters, plot, conclusion, resolution, and the moral lesson of the story. And last, students expected to understand the whole discussion. So now, let's proceed to the first reporter.
So good morning everyone. So today is a very interesting day to discover different mythical stories in the world of mythology. And our topic is very interesting, so I hope you will have a lesson and a good expectations about our topic. Today our topic is all about Eros and Psyche love story. This is one of my favorite stories that I've read, and actually this is not my first time reading this because the last time I read this is when I was in high school and I forgot some of the informations about this story. So my part is just to introduce to you the main characters in the story. So I just included the most mentioned characters in the story, no. So we are aware of what their role in this story. So first, I'll introduce to you Eros. So Eros is known as Cupid to the Romans, was the Greek god of sexual attraction, a constant companion of Aphrodite. Variously depicted as either a beautiful youth or a mischievous nude boy. Eros is most commonly represented with a bow and an unlimited number of arrows which he uses to overpower the reason and incite erotic feelings in any mortal or god per Aphrodite's or her own wish. So in romance, Eros is also called Cupid. We all know that Cupid is a creature who makes people fall in love while carrying his bow and an arrow. In this story, Eros was the son of Aphrodite, who is the goddess, and due to her jealousy, she asked his son Eros, who is the god of sexual attraction, to put a spell on Psyche that men will avoid her when it came to marriage. So iba talaga yung impact pag naiinggit ka sa isang tao, you are not aware of what you're doing. So, for us, we should avoid that kind um, um, personality. So, but suddenly Eros fell in love with the beauty of Psyche and he accidentally pricked himself and fell deeply in love with her. So can you imagine, no? Na in love mismo si Eros kay Psyche. May mga ibang version din ng story na hindi accidentally na prick niya yung sarili niya. Meron ding story na na he really do it by himself, no, kasi na sobrang um pagka-in love niya dun sa kay Psyche. So, can you imagine how handsome Eros is? So, 'di ba? Hindi naman kasi yung mga characters kasi sa mga mythological stories are not true. So, may mga iba-ibang perceptions kung ano talaga yung mga mukha nila. Pag nag-search naman tayo sa Google, there are different faces ni Eros doon. Mostly sa kanila ang gagwapo. So, we are expecting na gwapo talaga si Eros sa story na to. So next, Psyche. Psyche was said to be the youngest of three daughters born to a named king and queen. While all three daughters were extremely beautiful, the beauty of Psyche surpassed that of her sisters and indeed the beauty of any other mortal of the day. So, tatlo silang magkakapatid. So, siya yung pinaka-bunso. And magaganda din naman yung mga sisters niya. But then again, yung, yung beauty ni Psyche is yung nangingibabaw sa kanilang tatlo. So Psyche's beauty though was as much a curse as it was a boon, for while her sisters were happily married to other kings, Greek kings, men observed Psyche's beauty and were unwilling to approach. As time went by, people even began to worship the beautiful Psyche as if she was a goddess, and as a result, the worship of Aphrodite or Venus was neglected. So, dahil na din sa pag-worship ng mga tao sa kanya, ng mga kalalakihan sa kanya, nakakalimutan na yung beauty ni Aphrodite. And that was the first conflict na nangyari sa life ni Psyche, is yung pagiging jealous ni Aphrodite sa kanya. So next, Aphrodite, the last main character in this story. So Aphrodite, she is the mother of Eros. So we are clear about this na anak niya pala si Eros, kaya nadali-dali niyang utusan yung kanyang anak to make a curse to Psyche. Aphrodite is the ancient Greek goddess of sexual and beauty, identified with Venus by the Romans. She was known primarily as a goddess of love and fertility, and occasionally presided over marriage. So, sa definition or characteristic talaga ni Aphrodite, siya talaga yung goddess of sexual love and beauty. So, namana talaga ni Eros yung kanyang ability or kanyang characteristics or personality. So, siguro, na jealous or nainggit siya kay Psyche because 'di ba, you're a goddess, right? You're a goddess and you're the goddess of beauty, and then you will see na may normal or ordinaryong tao na mas maganda pa pala sa'yo, 'di ba? So you are going to get jealous to that certain person. So, she is the mother of Eros, like what I've said, and known to as the goddess of beauty, and got jealous of how beautiful Psyche is. So, she sent Eros to put curse on Psyche. So, siya din yung bigay ng mga tasks para maibalik niya ulit sa life niya si Eros. So, it is very interesting story, no? So, the following reporters will discuss to you the story of Eros and Psyche. So, thank you for listening.
Hello, I'm Vivian O. Timpolok and the next reporters of Group 8. Today I will be discussing you the summary or plot of the story. Psyche was one of three sisters, princess in the Grecian kingdom. All three were beautiful, but Psyche was the most beautiful. Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty, heard about Psyche and her sisters and was jealous of all the attention people paid to Psyche. So she summoned her son Eros and told him to put a spell on Psyche. Always obedient, Eros flew down to earth with 2 vials of potion. Invisible, he sprinkled the sleeping Psyche with a potion that would make man avoid her when it came to marriage. Her beauty in turn startled Eros, and he accidentally pricked himself as well. Feeling bad about what he had done, he then sprinkled her with the other potion which would provide her with joy in her life. So, si Psyche daw is isa siya sa tatlong magkakapatid na babae ng Grecian Kingdom. Siya yung pinakamagandang babae na kahit na si Aphrodite is cannot surpass the beauty of Psyche. Reason why she get jealous and make Psyche to suffer. O ganyan kainggit si Aphrodite kay Psyche. So, in order to Aphrodite make her plan, she called her son Eros. To si Eros, tinawag niya si Eros. Si Eros is a cupid, siya yung pumapana sa mga puso natin, or kung totoo man siya yung pumapana sa puso ng mga tao para ma-inlove ito sa isa't isa. And sinabi niya doon sa anak niya na mag-spell siya ng potion to Psyche so that man avoid her and not marry Psyche. And that after that, Eros felt bad from what he had done. Na feel ni Eros na feel niya na guilty siya. So ang ginawa niya, nag-spout ulit siya ng potion kay Psyche, that which is somehow provides Psyche joy in life. So para hindi naman panghabang buhay na magdusa si Psyche is nag-spell siya ng another potion kay Psyche, which provide her joy in life. Kasi hindi na rin na-deny sa sarili niya na unang tingin niya pa lang kay Psyche is na in love na rin siya. So, ayun yung ginawa niya. Siyempre, ikaw ba naman ang magkagusto sa isang tao? So, kapag nagkakagusto tayo, 'di ba, ayaw din natin makita yung mga crush natin or yung mga mahal natin sa buhay na nagsasuffer. Kaya ayun, ginawa ni Eros. Nag-spell siya ulit ng potion to provide Psyche joy in life. And the day after that, her father got worried. Dito na tayo. Although Psyche still beautiful but could find no husband, her parents afraid that they had offended the gods. And then her father asked an oracle to reveal Psyche's future husband. The oracle said that no man would have her, but there's a creature on the top of the mountain that would marry her. Surrendering to the inevitable, she held for the mountain. When she came within sight, she was lifted by a gentle wind and carried the rest of the way. When she arrived, she saw that her new home was in fact a rich and beautiful palace. Her new husband never permitted her to see him, but he proved to be true and gentle lover. So, kahit maganda pa rin si Psyche is wala siyang magiging asawa. So, ang nangyari doon is, ang ginawa ng kanyang father is nag-worried. Nag-worried yung father niya and natakot siya. And, syempre, takot din siya na mapahiya sa mga gods. So, ginawa niya, pumunta siya sa Delphi to ask guidance from Apollo to reveal kung sino ang mapapangasawa ni Psyche. But then the oracle said, walang lalaking magpapakasal kay Psyche. However, there's is a creature on the top of mountain na magpapakasal sa kanya at gagawin siyang asawa. And yung creature of the mountain na yan is hindi nila alam. Wala silang idea kung sino yan, monster yan, or tao man, mortal man, or hindi. Pero they have no choice kundi sunduin yung sinabi ng oracle. So, ang ginawa nila, kahit na mahirap sa part ni Psyche na she will leave her family, especially her father na mahal niya. She still surrendered herself and went to the top of mountain to meet her future husband. Pumunta siya doon at nag-iyak-iyak siya doon sa mountain na yun. And then, after that, while na umiyak-iyak siya, the fresh wind of Eros raised her and traveled her through the sky, papunta sa kanyang mapapangasawa. Sa pamagitan ng hangin ni Eros is nakaabot si Psyche doon sa itaas ng mountain, which is sa tuktok pa, parang sa tuktok ng langit, ganon. Then, when she reached on the top, nakita na sobrang ganda ng palasyo na as in, parang hindi siya makapaniwala na totoo ba yung nakikita niya. Then, pumunta siya when she reached on the top, nakita na sobrang ganda ng palasyo na as in, parang hindi siya makapaniwala na totoo ba yung nakikita niya. Then, pumunta siya sa loob at tanging boses lamang ng isang lalaki ang naririnig niya, pero hindi na nakikita. Then, sinabi ng lalaki na, tumuloy ka kasi ang bahay na to ay sayo na rin. But, ang worst part lang is, hindi pinapakita ng husband niya. Her husband not permitted her to see him. Kasi nga, ayun, bawal talaga siyang magpakita kay Psyche. After some time, she grew lonely for her family and she asked to be allowed to have her sister for visit. When they saw how beautiful Psyche's new home was, they got jealous. They went to her and told her not to forget that her husband was some kind of monster and that no doubt he was only fattening her up in order to eat her. They suggested that she hide a lantern and a knife near her bed, therefore that the next time he visited her, she could look to see if he was indeed a monster and cut off his head if it was so. Her sisters convinced her this was best. So the next time her husband came to visit her, she had a lamp and a knife ready. When he raised the lamps, Psyche saw that her husband was not a monster, but Eros. Surprised, he ran to the window and flew off. She jumped out after him but fell the ground and lay there unconscious. So, ikaw ba naman ang mag-isa ng ilang months na, 'di ba parang napi-feel boring din tayo. So therefore, while passing by, Psyche felt lonely and started to miss her family. So like what I have said, kapag mag-isa ka talaga is parang gusto mo rin ng kausap kasi yung asawa niya is laging wala doon. Kapag gabi lang siya, pumupunta kay Psyche or kapag natutulog na si Psyche. And hindi rin nakikita ni Psyche kasi puro patay na yung ilaw Hindi rin nakikita ni Psyche yung asawa niya, but nakakausap niya lang. So, ang ginawa ni Psyche is she asked permission to her husband to allow her visit her sisters. So, ayun nga, as a sign of mahal nga talaga siya ni Eros is pinayagan siya ni Eros na magbisita yung mga sisters niya doon sa bahay nila or sa palasyo nila. However, her sisters still insecure Psyche life. So, may mga tao rin talaga na kahit na may sari-sarili na tayong pamilya, nasa settled na yung buhay natin, as in, masaya na tayo. Pero, yung insecure, kapag insecure tayo is, tayo mismo yung gumagawa ng natin, yung anong tawag dyan, yung parang pinapaano lang natin yung sarili natin, tayong gumagawa ng gulo sa sarili natin, parang ginugulo lang natin yung sarili natin because of our insecurity. So yun yung mga kapatid niya, sa sobrang insecure nila is ayun nga, insecure sila kay Psyche kasi ganito yung bahay ni Psyche na sana hindi dapat ganito kasi pangit, kasi monster yung asawa niya. So, what her sister did is, dahil nga sa sobrang insecure yung mga sister niya, ang ginawa ng mga kapatid niya is, gumawa sila ng false story about Eros that convinced Psyche, which is yun ay magsindi ng lampara with knife to kill him if she saw that her husband really a monster. But then again, Psyche did what her sister said. But then again, she was surprised and accidentally poured the lamp oil to Eros, just reason why Eros to make a wig. So, syempre, ikaw ba naman ang mabuhusan, diba? Mabuhusan ng oil ng lampara. Syempre, mainit yun. So, nagising doon si Eros. And, pag gising niya is, nakita niya sa harapan niya si Psyche. And that, parang galit na galit siya at sinabi niya kay Psyche na love is useless without trust. So, yun yung mga word na sinabi niya bago niya iniwan si Psyche sa palasyo na mag-isa. So, that day is na-realize ni Psyche na hindi pala master yung asawa niya, and she feel sorry to her husband kasi nga parang nabitray niya yung asawa niya dahil lang doon sa hinala ng mga kapatid niya. So, ayun lang naman. That's all my presentation. And before we proceed to the next group, I would like to request Miss De La Cruz to present the next slide. Thank you.
Good morning everyone, I'm Rachel Joy V. De La Cruz. So today I'll be discussing my part, which is the conclusion of the story. When she awoke, the palace had disappeared and she found herself in a field near her old home. She went to the temple of Aphrodite and prayed for help. Aphrodite responded by giving her a series of tasks to do, tasks that Aphrodite believed the girl would not be able to accomplish. The first was a matter of sorting a huge pile of mixed grains into separate piles. Psyche looked at the pile and despaired, but Eros secretly arranged for an army of ants to separate the piles. Aphrodite returned the following morning, accused Psyche of having had help, as indeed she had. The next task involved getting a snippet of golden flask from each one of a special herd of sheep that live across a nearby river. The god of the river advised Psyche to wait until the sheep sought shade from the midday sun. Then they would be sleepy and not attack her. When Psyche presented Aphrodite with the flask, the goddess again accused her of having had help. The third task Aphrodite set before Psyche was to get a cup of water from the river Styx, where it cascades down from an incredible height. Psyche thought it was all over, until an eagle helped her by carrying the cup up the mountain and returning it full. Aphrodite was livid, knowing full well that Psyche could never have done this alone. Psyche's next task was to go into hell to ask Persephone. Persephone is the wife of Hades, for a box of magic makeup. Thinking that she was doomed, she decided to end it all by jumping off a cliff. But a voice told her not to and gave her instructions on making her way to hell to get the box. However, the voice warned to not look inside the box under any circumstances. Ang palasyo ay naglaho nang siya ay magising, at sa kanyang pagising siya ay parang malapit na sa kanyang dating tahanan. Pumunta siya sa dambana ni Aphrodite at humingi ng tulong. Gumanti si Aphrodite sa pamamagitan ng pagtatalaga sa kanya ng isang serya ng mga tungkulin na lahat ay pinaniniwalaan niyang hindi makakaya ni Psyche. So, nang hindi alam kung ano pa ang gagawin, pumunta siya sa templo ni Aphrodite at nanalangin sa Diyosa. Hiniling niya kay Aphrodite na kausapin ang kanyang anak at hikayatin itong ibalik si Psyche. Siyempre, hindi pa nadaig ni Aphrodite ang selos para kay Psyche at gusto pa rin niyang maghiganti. So, sinabi niya sa dalaga na kailangan niyang ganap na makatiyak na si Psyche ay ang nararapat na asawa para sa kanyang anak. So, dapat gawin daw ni Psyche ang 3 gawain upang patunayan ang kanyang kakayahan. Kapag siya ay nabigo, kahit isa sa mga gawaing ito, si Eros ay tuluyan ng mawawala magpakailanman. Pumayag naman si Psyche at dinala siya ni Aphrodite sa isang burol. Doon ay ipinakita sa kanya ng Diyosa ang isang duni ng iba't ibang maliliit na buto ng trigo, papis, millet at marami pang iba. Sabi nito, nais kong paghiwalayin mo ang mga butong ito ngayong hapon. Kung hindi na kita hayaang makita si Eros, sabi ni Aphrodite at umalis na. Paano makita gawin iyon? Paano makikitang paghiwalayin ang lahat ng maliliit na butong ito? Isa itong malupit na gawain na nagpaluha sa kanyang mga mata. Sa sandaling iyon, may dumaan na grupo ng mga langgam at nakita siyang parang nawawala na ng pag-asa. So, sabi nito, halika, maawa ka sa kawawang babaeng ito at tulungan natin siya. Sabi nila sa isa't isa. So, lahat sila ay tumugon sa apilan na ito at nagtrabaho ng gusto na pinaghiwalay ang mga buto. Isang bagay kung saan sila ay mga dalubhasa. Mula sa malaking orihinal na dune, bumuo sila ng ilang mas maliliit na dumi. Bawat isa ay may isang hari na binhi. Nakita ng maliliit na buhangin na ito si Aphrodite at nagalit. Um, Hindi mo pa natatapos ang iyong trabaho, sabi niya, at inutusan si Psyche na matulog sa lupa nang hindi siya binibigyan ng pagkain habang nakasandal siya sa malambot niyang kama. So naisip niya na kung mapipilitan niya si Psyche na sa mahabang panahon, hindi makakalaban ang kanyang kagandahan. Hindi pinayagan ni Aphrodite ang kanyang anak na umalis sa kanyang silid, kung saan siya ay nagluluksal sa lahat ng oras na iyon para sa pagtataksil ni Psyche. Kinaumagahan, nakaisip si Aphrodite ng bagong trabaho mula kay Psyche, isang mapanganganib na gawain. Nakikita mo ba ang itim na tubig na bumababa mula sa burol? Iyon ay River Istige, kakilakilabot ang kasuklam-suklam. Punan ang bote na ito ng tubig, sabi ng Diyosa. Pagdating sa talon, napagtanto ni Psyche na madulas at matarik ang mga bato sa paligid. Ang tubig ay dumaloy sa mga biglang bato na tanging may pakpak na nilalang lamang ang makalapit. At sa katunayan, isang agila ang tumulong sa kanya. Lumilipad ito na may malalaking pakpak sa ibabaw ng ilog nang makita si Psyche at nakiramay sa kanya. Kinuha nito ang bote mula sa kanyang mga kamay gamit ang kanyang tuka, nilagyan ito ng itim na tubig at ibinalik kay Psyche. Tinanggap siya ni Venus ng malamig na ngiti. May tumulong sa iyo, madiin niyang sabi, kung hindi ay hindi mo magagawa ang gawain ito ng mag-isa. Bibigyan kita ng isa pang pagkakataon para patunayan sa iyo na determinado ka kagaya ng sinasabi mo. May binigay siyang box kay Psyche. Kinakailangan niyang dalhin ito sa underworld at hilingin kay Persephone. Si Persephone ay reyna ng mga patay. Kailangan niyang dalhin ito kay Persephone at ibuhos ng kaunti ang kanyang kagandahan sa kahon. Masunurin gaya ng dati. Tinahak ni Psyche ang landas patungo sa Hades. Nang pumasok siya sa mga trangkahan at dinala ang bangka sa kabilang bangko kung saan umalis ang mga patay, nagbigay siya ng maraming pera kay Charonte na namangka upang tulungan siyang mahanap ang kanyang daan sa dilim patungo sa palasyo ng Persephone. Tinulungan siya ng isang boatman at ilang sandali pa ay nasa tapat na siya ng Persephone. Nang hilingin niyang ihulog ang kanyang kagandahan sa kahon, natuwa si Persephone na pagsilbihan si Aphrodite. Kinuha ni Psyche ang kahon at masayang bumalik sa Earth. Nang ibinigay niya kay Aphrodite ang kahon, labis na nagalit ang Diyosa. Sinigawan niya ang kaawa-awang babae na hinding-hindi na siya kakawalan at lagi siyang utusan.
Good day, everyone. I'm Gizel Kif Ponce, and I'm going to discuss to you the resolution. Well, Psyche received the box from Persephone and made her way back home. But true to her nature, she was unable to restrain herself from peeking inside. To her surprise, there was nothing inside but darkness, which put her into a deep sleep. Eros could no longer restrain himself either, and wakened her. He told her to bring the box to Aphrodite and that he would take care of the rest. Eros went to the heavens and asked Zeus to intervene. He spoke of his love for Psyche so eloquently that Zeus was moved to grant him his wish. Eros brought Psyche to Zeus, who gave her the cup of ambrosia, the drink of immortality. Zeus then joined Psyche and Eros in eternal marriage. They later had a daughter who would be able named Pleasure. So, into the previous report from Miss Rachel, na nasabi doon na Aphrodite gave a task to Psyche, and Aphrodite believed that Psyche wouldn't able to accomplish all the tasks that she gave her to Psyche. But then Psyche accomplished all the tasks. Kasi marami ring tumulong kay Psyche, which is the god, then yung mga ibang god, and then si Eros, tinulungan niya rin si Psyche doon. And ayun nga, yung last task is to ask Hades' wife, which is Persephone, as to a magic makeup. But then Psyche accomplished the task pa rin talaga. And ayun nga, nakabalik si Psyche na tapos at nagawa niya yung task na pinapagawa sa kanya ni Aphrodite. And then ito nga, Eros went to heaven and asked Zeus na makialam na. And then yon, binanggit na din doon ni Eros yung pagmamahal niya kay Psyche, kaya naintig si Zeus. At kaya ayun, binigay ni Zeus yung hiling ni Eros sa kanya. At ayun nga, dinala ni Eros si Psyche kay Zeus at binigyan si Psyche ng isang inumin, which is the ambrosia, drink of immortality. Ayun nga, magiging immortal si Psyche doon. At sinamahan ni Zeus, sina Psyche at Eros sa walang hanggang kasal. Ayun nga, kinasal si Eros at si Psyche at nagkaroon ng anak sila Psyche at Eros na babae at tatawagin itong pleasure. Ayun, nagkaanak sila. Mayroon ding happy ending siguro nga. Ayun nga, kasi nagkaanak, kinasal at nagsama si Eros at si Psyche. Ayun. Pagmahal mo talaga, ipaglalaban mo talaga kahit yung mommy mo or yung mom ng lalaki or mom ng babae is tutol. Pagmahal mo talaga yung isang tao, ipaglalaban mo talaga yon. Kaya ayun nga yung ginawa ni Eros kay Psyche, pinaglaban niya talaga kahit yung mom niya is parang ayaw or parang maingat kay Psyche. But then, pinaglaban niya pa rin. Kasi yun naman talaga pagmahal mo, ipaglalaban mo talaga yon. Kaya ayun yung tinatawag na real man talaga na sinasabi natin. Ayun lamang. Thank you. And now, we're going to jump sa moral lesson. Moral lesson is, love is like a task. If you really love someone, but you would betray him or her, strive to earn his trust or her trust to prove that you deserve to be loved again. So, ayun nga, sinasabi doon na love is like a task. Like, yung parang nagkamali ka sa isang task na hindi mo na solve or something na parang may nagawa kang mali. Parang ganun sa love, meron kang nagawang mali, meron kang, alam mo sa sarili mo na may nagawa kang mali. And then, nasira mo yung trust ng isang tao. Ngayon yung sa task, parang, ano ba yan? Parang wala ng pag-asa, hindi na yan masusolve, ganyan. So, ayun nga sa love din. Pag may nagawa kang mali at nasira mo yung trust ng isang tao, parang ang hirap na mag-trust sa isang tao kasi wala na, isira na, paano ka pa mag-trust? Paano ka pa magtitiwala sa isang tao pag sira na yung trust mo? Pero, ito, para maibalik yung trust, you have to strive to earn the trust na sinira mo and to prove that you deserve to be loved again. Ayun nga, kailangan tawag yan, yung parang strive, parang ipakita mo na karapat-dapat ka doon sa second chance na binigay sa'yo. Kasi, di ba, lahat naman tayo deserve ng second chance, di ba? Pero dapat yung second chance na yun is last na yun. Last na yun, wala nang third, wala na. Second chance na lang talaga yan. Kaya kailangan gawin mo kung ano yung, itama mo kung ano yung mali mo sa una. At ayun nga, kailangan talaga is i-earn mo ulit yung trust. Kailangan mo buuin yung trust na sinira mo. Kasi para parang ipakita mo na ibang-iba ka na. Iba na yung taong dati. And yung sa present ngayon is meron ng development na nangyari. Ayun nga, parang nag-mature ka na, hindi ka na yung dati na sira-sira ka ganun. Kaya kailangan pag mahal mo yung isang tao at nagkamali ka, You have to strive to earn the trust na sinira mo. Kailangan mong ibalik yung trust na yon and to prove na kamahal-mahal ka pa rin kahit ganun. Ayun, ayun lamang. And pag mahal mo kasi talaga, hindi mo dapat sasaktan yan eh. So, ayun, pag may mali ka, may nagawa kang mali, kailangan mong i-fix yun agad-agad. Wala nang ano-ano pa, i-fix na yan, and learn to forgive pa rin. Pero hindi pa rin talaga makakalimutan yung mga mali. Makakapagpatawad ka, pero hindi mo pa rin makakalimutan ko yung ginawa sa iyo. Ayun lamang at maraming salamat po sa pakikinig. Thank you for listening to us and God bless.